Yeah, welcome back.
So,
Deepa,
yeah,
continue, please.
yeah. I mean, I was like, I personally, there was a period in my life where I meditated around a good like 4 5 years. Every day I would meditate, and during that time, I was sort of intensely trying to understand what meditation is. But in some ways, I always found it very effortful. So, yeah, I think I was just wondering why Pankaj, you shared that like it brings you relaxation. Like I would, so yeah, I think I was just wondering about that.
So I've also meditated for many years. But what I thought was that when I do it, I don't find it effortful, but uh, that sense of awareness that we talk about that should sustain as a meditative uh, state doesn't last. That has been my experience. So when I am doing it with an effort may not look like an effort. It may when one does an act of doing a meditation, it may not all of them that we say may be effort, like looking like a lot of effort, and it may make one feel calm at that point of time also. But the effect, that awareness, the knack of having the awareness all the time, that doesn't last.
I'd also like to add that um, I feel like meditation is a practice of building awareness or putting yourself in a situation. Matlab, that's one way of interpreting it, where the act of meditation, what is generally considered, where sit by yourself and in some sense observe your thoughts, and you observe whatever is happening, right? So in some sense you're practicing the act of awareness, is my understanding. And the so but the idea is to build awareness, to have it all through the day. Then then those words can be interchanged, where awareness can be meditation or meditation can be awareness. But it feels like at the base of it, we are talking about being aware of our actions, our thoughts, and how we're physically and mentally feeling.
But can we define awareness? That's what I'm wondering. Like through practice, if we can reach awareness, that means we have already defined awareness. That's another question that comes. Can we ever define awareness? What it is? What is awareness? And if we cannot define awareness, then how can there be a path defined to reach which is not defined? When we say that through practice building up awareness, that means we have already defined what is awareness. Can we ever define exactly that this is awareness?
Maybe I can give a situation, and within that, like if like I was we were talking, Deepa and I were talking about this, and basically we had this example where if if I say the word watermelon, right, and everyone has a thought in their head about what they think a watermelon is. It might be a whole watermelon, it might be a cut watermelon, it might be a seed, or it might be a slice. But that is us thinking about that thing. Awareness is knowing all these possibilities exist, right? So when we are talking about watermelon, let's say, that is my understanding of how I think awareness works, or what awareness is being able to zoom out and see beyond what you're looking at, where you're looking in a very vague term, a larger picture, or how what you're thinking about fits in across.
But in terms of this watermelon also, uh, it's endless, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that means what is awareness we fail to define exactly.
I mean, different people would have different experience as per their level of maybe maturity or walking the path. And one thing that would be common would be clearing the path with practice, you know. And I mean, awareness would be something like you come to be one with your surrounding, are acutely aware, like the gentleman previously was mentioning about the senses of the sounds around you, and you know, the whatever wind or whatever the case might be. And sometimes people experience weightlessness, something absolutely fantastic during meditation, sitting in a particular asana, or doing some sort of breathe pranayam. And maybe it is the level of our understanding which varies from person to person. Maybe it is how we are, you know, clutched within the context. What are our challenges and how deeply are we connected to them? And sometimes we get some insights into them while doing meditation. And in general, it is a relaxing experience.
What is coming to mind as such is like, is it just the experience, or beyond that as well, like a sense of relaxation, sense of weightlessness? All these things are merely experiences. So can we define meditation on the basis of the individualistic experiences? Can you do that?
I don't know, maybe it is, you know, we are part of a bigger whole, and that unity that we experience itself you know, characterizes life. It might be different for different people, so there might be many definitions. Some people do walking meditation, talking
There
meditation.
comes the question, sir. Like when it is different for different people, can there be ever be a practice or a specific path to meditate? Ever be? Like, is it just an assumption that we all go for? That there could be a path defined by someone,
No,
followed by a group?
actually, yeah. So my personal experience is to follow the instructions of the guide who gave me that path, and the way he you know, achieved whatever enlightenment or whatever the case might be, his way, I follow the same thing and I find it helpful.
No, that's a secondary thing, whether you define something helpful or not. But what is primary is the whole understanding of the aspect. Like uh, what I understand from this narration is that an individual who claims that there is a path experienced by me which led me to some sort of another experience, which is a kind of wow experience for me. And I propose that if you follow this path, then you will also experience the similar experience. Is it at all reliable?
Absolutely.
The whole process. That's what.
You know, we can read a lot, but unless we do it, we won't experience it ourselves.
No, but
So,
before doing something, there has to be some credibility of doing something, right? Before doing something.
that is a very different, okay, deeper discussion. Uh, if I am a scientist, for example, say I base my research on the basis of references, research previously conducted by some other people, and I assume those things were correct because I don't have the time and resources to conduct all the research myself. So I conduct my research to know something a little bit further down the line, which has not been done, or which I find myself, something satisfactory or enriching experience. So I do it based upon some presumptions, based upon some experimental evidence or some references that are already there. So we begin somewhere, and then by doing ourselves only, we would get to know what exactly it is. And I think it is different for different people because all of us have gone through different experiences in our lives, and our mind is clouded by certain aspects of those experiences, and how we get out of it and push the dust away and clear the path depends upon our own practice and experience. No, that's what I think.
Can I say something?
Yeah, please read.
Yeah, I was thinking if like is this being proposed that meditation is being done to experience something which we think is something great, or is it like just like what the name is, Pankaj was saying that like someone, whoever the guru or whoever you consider has meditated and shown some path, um, if we follow that, we will also reach there, something like that. So there is some point which we are thinking we have to reach, and probably what is coming as of now is that finding out, um, not in the sense of finding out something, but like actually just, you know, exploring if whatever is being proposed, if there is any truth in it, without actually having some preconceived belief or fixated idea about it. And um, that probably could be uh, proposed as meditation, I
Another aspect
guess.
is the effort, I think. Like whenever
Yeah.
we define a destination, there is always an effort associated to reach there. And as Deepa actually started with that proposal of effortlessness, a state of effortlessness, like should I be doing something extra for meditation, or is it a natural state of being? If I could comprehend it,
May I just chip in,
sir.
because what Minu, hello.
Sir, please.
So,
Yeah.
so actually, one thing is, it reduces anxiety levels, and many people have found it helpful. In many researches conducted, they found it calming, and some gamma waves, that increases. They have done this on monks from um, uh, uh, different parts of the world, here in Ladakh also. And I think it is soothing and relaxing experience. And if you are aiming to do something positive, you are getting rid of the negative, abstaining from wrongdoing, or it would improve your sense of well-being and calmness. And for sure it is a good thing. So I mean, we have a lot of anxieties, and we live in a rapid world with a TikTok, Instagram lifestyle, and everything on the go. And by doing something ourselves which enriches our life, and that is vital life energy that you derive from that. So yeah.
Actually, this is reminding me of that exploration in, like, even in nature cure, like um, if we know that, let's say, fruit is our food, if we know that, yes, movement does help with circulation, we know that following, aligning with the circadian rhythms, again, aligns with nature and conserves energy, versus like understanding these facts versus practicing these, and what each of these would have as an impact on us. Both would probably, like, probably have some amount of conservation of energy and bringing about health, but the impacts would be very different, because in one aspect there would be a certain amount of trying to keep up with the protocols, sort of. So in some ways, like, the research probably would indicate that there is relaxation, there is reduced, like, stress and reduced anxiety. So, and I think that makes sense, like, practicing awareness surely would bring about regulation, but what about that effort of trying to do those practices? What about the impact of that then on the individual? Like, what would the impact, what would it have as an effect?
Mainly in the psychological domain, when it is being considered that this practice will lead me to somewhere. So two layers of assumptions. One is that somewhere, the point, and this practice will lead me to that destination. So I'm just wondering that ever that individual be free from this loops of repeating loops of assumptions. So that peripheral relaxation, state of relaxation, uh, even though if it is established through researches, then also it is questionable. And any scientific research, if it is truly scientific, then it is worth questioning that, because in true science there is no conclusion possible. All the pseudosciences actually concludes the thing.
I think you must read a bit more. There is plenty evidence available. The level of anxiety reduces, circadian rhythms improve, our connection with the nature, that to say. And, it is by practicing only that we get to know the benefits. Just criticizing something because
If I may, sir,
we
if I may, sir, uh, ask this question proposal, that if I do not read, will I be ever be able to meditate? Like for
of
meditation,
course.
will I be needing to read something specific? Then only I'll be able to meditate.
No, 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 no. I was talking about the scientific research and evidence. You can go through that, but it is effortlessness, basically like driving. But to begin with, you have to follow practice and keep up a routine every day. That is how I was taught. And I mean, I have a fixed spot in a place, and I'm not very regular right now. But there was a time when I practiced it earnestly, and I had a heightened sense of awareness in that I was more relaxed, and I could see time go slow. Then, I
For
had
that period, for that period or overall, sir, for that period of meditation, or you could achieve a state of awareness overall,
no overall. So my breath
and
was like,
that
why?
sustains beyond
Yeah,
the
it it
hours of
it
practice.
sustained beyond. Yes, yes, yes. That is what I'm saying. It sustained beyond that period of sitting down. While walking, I could experience myself breathing in and out. With my steps, I could count how long it takes to breathe in, how long it takes to breathe out. And I just had like a wonderful experience. Everything was simplified, so to say.
So your sensitivity was increased, you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I had more time. I was not in a rush, and yeah, I had more like response. My brain was at peace, and it could make better decisions in a shorter time. It could recapitulate more information easily, and so on.
Pankaj, what if you could achieve, I mean, be in this state, what you are explaining without meditating? Would you prefer that? I mean, I'm just saying that is there a possibility of um, not having conditions? So after you practice, you experience these things. So is it possible to experience these things? And if would you want to do it with practice if that was a choice given, or without practice, and yet you can still be aware? Uh, what would you opt for?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say something which is not from my own experience, but uh, if given a choice, effortlessness, achieving something without having done a practice would be like a miracle. If a benevolent soul comes and bestows his grace upon me, or some antibody is injected into my blood, and I within a moment uh, achieve some sort of miracle. That is a different thing altogether. I can only say something based upon my personal experience. If there are people, I mean, who would be in a constant state of meditation, but they have achieved that state over a period of time. It doesn't come on its own. Maybe, yeah, there is more that we can talk about it.
Actually, yeah, that does make me wonder why there is effort needed, in the sense that, like, if I think of myself, I can see that my attention has certain patterns, and it gets stuck in certain patterns. So I mean, what is it that can be sort of explored, so that um, I don't know what, but basically that why is that effort needed, that you know um, propels one towards doing something.
Okay, I don't have an answer to that, but what uh, I can say is when a child is born, uh, certain things would come naturally to him or her, like uh, you know, breastfeeding or crying, and uh, you know, uh, recognizing people, voices, and imagery, and then uh, as we grow old. Uh, we tend to do certain things more often than the others, and due to our surroundings or circumstances, the case might be, you get yourselves shelved in certain habits, and you define yourself by a set of whatever the case might be. Like, to break those barriers which we create for ourselves, they are self-inflicted, is meditation is helpful in that.
In some ways, I mean, awareness itself is very regulating. Like, if something is brought in awareness, like if I'm made aware of a certain pattern, I mean, I would hope that it would get self-regulated. But then I've also noticed that it depends on how strong patterns are, or how sort of yeah, how stuck they are, to sort of unwind from patterns. Um, but yeah, I mean, in general, I think awareness is also self-regulating. I mean, parallel to understanding like health and homeostasis. Um, Even I feel awareness also is homeostatic in that sense.
Yes, I agree. Uh, but like, there are many people in the world, and it is different for different people. You know, all of us try to simplify within our context, but this principle of entropy says that things go more towards disorder, and like we have rules for driving on the road. We drive left in India or right in the US and so on. um, this is a process that helps us regulate ourselves. I mean, effortlessness is wonderful, but it doesn't, due to our due to our habits and patterns, we tend to get dysregulated. We are not as simple as a newborn, and we are better at good certain things, and you know, not so much at the others. And yeah.
I think, yeah, I'd just like to add one more thing. In some ways, I also feel this whole process is tied in with expectations from ourselves, like to become better or to think that we are not okay, or yeah, I mean, just for
No, no.
going towards growth.
I think
Um,
that is an extrapolation towards negativity. And I mean, if 100 people do something and 95 people say they have derived a certain benefit out of it, in general, it becomes a principle that it is a good thing to follow. And, you know, uh, there are few things in the world which we can know by ourselves, and meditation is such a simple practice. Anybody can do anywhere, anytime. It doesn't cost anything, or it is just simplification. We only believe in certain things when the West tends to throw it upon us, or throw light upon the facts that okay, this works because there's uh, cases in hospitals or asylums and whatever. People stop committing suicides, or the level of anxiety reduces with this in jails, and you know those sort of things. And then we say, okay, yeah, this works. But if it is something from our own tradition and which has deep roots to culture, we would not take it easily. We would try finding faults. Okay, I mean, I'm not criticizing you or saying that there is a definite result to the practice. It depends upon person how he or she follows or uh, achieves that state of awareness. I mean, yeah. So
I think we have another question here, that the medicinal use of meditation practice is very much evidence here, because there are a lot of researchers actually, what Pankaj sir was mentioning, like asylums and mass of people are finding it's very relaxing. But the food for thought is that, is it enough to define meditation just because of some relaxing experiences, or meditation is something beyond? We have around 5 minutes, Deepa, just for your information. What about Sahil? Prasin, any further reflection quickly?
No, nothing as of now.
Yeah, Sahil.
No, I'm just listening. It's wonderful to hear. I mean, the positive effects which meditation had, or some good experiences, which is, I mean, which is good to have. But again, making it as a medicine or using it as a process, I mean, we can definitely question that aspect.
There is somebody who Y9 2019.
Yeah, it's me, Revati.
Oh, very
So,
good.
so, I just felt like giving a brief to myself of whatever was happening as a discussion here was questioning whether there needs to be a structure for learning anything. Isn't like getting to a point, or so in the beginning I was thinking that to learn any skill, probably there would be certain guidance you try to seek from somewhere or something, and then you start, you know, trying to practice it. But there are ways in which we don't seek a structure, but in some ways we start learning things. We pick up, we see, we observe, and then we start picking up things, and we don't realize how we actually learned it. What's the structure behind that learning? So I don't know about like whether it is meditation or not, but I just wanted to reflect something on. There was a point when somebody um, didn't realize when something is that person was doing, and that person was not even taking break to pee. And when somebody suggested that person to, you know, why don't you take a break? So probably is that, does that mean that person is guiding that person to take a break, or bringing some awareness towards you look tired, why don't you take a break, something like that. I don't um, yeah.
That talks a lot.
Actually, I think it is about synchronization. You know, we have a certain frequency, and if it gets synchronized with an effort, or whatever you're doing, you be one with it, and you naturally derive some pleasure out of it, and that wholesomeness pushes you to the next level of achievement. And some people were talking about how is it just for uh, you know relaxation or some medicinal benefits. That is not exactly that deep rooted principle of yoga unity, which encompasses this meditation as one of the steps, 9 steps of that uh, yoga. And it is actually, yeah, shunya, something, zero.
Seconds are left.
We get this.
Yes. Yeah. I think the meeting is about to end.
Yeah.
Um,
That was amazing, Pankaj sir, your contribution in this. And yeah, Deepa, closing remark, please.
well, we haven't concluded, and I think that's a good thing. We can continue exploring. The meeting room might end, but
Yeah, let's continue
yeah,
meditating.
we can continue.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, guys, for your time. We'll catch up again very soon. There are many mute people, Nandini, Rashi, Vinal mostly.